What up? We won our first challenge finally, and thank God it was looking very grim. Everybody put up balling performances too, so good team effort. It'll be exciting to see what Blazar comes back with who they vote off. Luckily, Carrie is immune this tribal because of the abduction twist, so she'll still be in the game. Gonna have to figure out how to navigate our abduction of Amanda, because if we keep winning, we can't vote her off, and we don't get to see where our tribal lines are either. So I still got to figure out some questions on that, and with who best to work with. Just getting some of those conversations. I think I can work to get Natalie, Lena, Alex, and Jeff on the same page for sure. I'm thinking for sure. Most likely I could be able to help facilitate that. So we'll see what's up with the next tribal council and challenge, but we're on the board, so feeling good.
Tribe morale is back up. It is rising, and I hope it stays there. If it doesn't, I'm trying to pad myself here and there with some folk. I really like Lena and Danny. I feel like I could have a lot of fun with them and ultimately some trust. Natalie, I'm starting to talk to a little bit. Hopefully I can have her in my corner. Ryan, I would love to kind of bro out with a little bit, because I wanted to get into his head that if there's a swap, like, they're going to come for one of us, and if he has any single thought about getting rid of me before a swap, they're coming for him immediately. So I feel like he understands that. We had a brief talk, and it seems like we're on the same level. I always have a smoking buddy when I come out to these things, so I'm going to make that a thing for me and Meredith. And right now, Josh just has shifty eyes, you know. I see him looking around like I slept next to him last night. And you don't get up, 7, 8 times to pee. Nobody pees that much. Like, you could have a small bladder, I'll give you that, but that often? So, I'm on to him. Everybody's pretty cool. Having Amanda is fun. I'm trying to get a read on her. She seemed to come in and be a little strong. Like, we're walking together as a group. We're in the back of the line, but still, she's talking loud enough to where, like, other people in front of us could hear. She's like, "Hey, so have any alliances formed at all?" I was like, yeah, well, the first one was unanimous, and so I think we're kind of just feeling each other out, letting a little more time go by. But the fact that Amanda does have a kid, I've got a kid, I like the idea of parents moving forward. So, I mean, her kid's only 2, but later on watching with their kids, saying, "Hey, look what your parent did." And so I'm a little villainous, but I'm more than anything, I'm wholesome. So I'm gonna have to determine which role I'm gonna take, but it's still too early to even really make a hard decision on that.
All right, so we just won the immunity challenge, which is huge. So I'm very happy about that, and that gives me time to open this. So at the end of the last tribal, I noticed in the urn a little scroll thing, so I made sure that I was like last to leave, and they'd all gotten a little distance, and I was very nervous about doing it, because my rule number 1 is don't do anything that could possibly put a target on your back and get you voted out. So this is a very obvious thing that's happening, but I felt pretty safe, so I just threw the urn away, picked it up. So I couldn't wait. I think I made a mistake, and I went to go look at it real quick and pretending to go to the bathroom and peeing. I think someone might have seen me, but I'm not sure. I just heard my name. Hopefully not. But now I actually have some time. I'll read it. So I saw what it was, so I'll just read it out. All right, you found the Safety Without Power Galaxy Curse. This Galaxy Curse allows a player to leave Tribal Council just before the votes are cast and return to camp. The player will not cast a vote, but more importantly, they cannot be voted out. The Galaxy Curse cannot be stolen from you. However, you can give it to or use it on another player. This must be done at camp or tribal council. When Nikki says it is time to vote, you will shout out ET phone home, which will signify to Nikki that you would like to use your Galaxy Curse. If you decide to give the Galaxy Curse to another player, please inform production. If you are voted out with the Galaxy Curse in your possession, it will be considered out of the game and has no power. The last time you can use this Galaxy Curse is when there are 5 players remaining in the game. Alright, so there's a lot of information there. That's a ton of information, actually. So what that tells me is, number one, there's probably a knowledge is power advantage or some sort of steal and advantage Galaxy Curse that someone can take. So that's one thing. Also, with 5 players remaining in the game, knowing that there's probably 2 immunity idols out here, that means that there must be probably a final 2. And also, I don't think there'll be a 3rd immunity idol at the merge, unless the immunity idols can only be used at 5. So, that's a lot of information, actually, to know. Now, I need to figure out the biggest thing is I don't know where to hide this, because I don't want to keep it in my bag, and I don't want to keep it in my pants. So I don't know what to do, and I'm worried that if it gets destroyed, it won't, I don't know, I might have to just hide it somewhere, like, easy. I don't know. But it's very good. I don't think I'm going to share this with anybody. I'm very confident I won't, unless, I'm going to, talk. I think Elena and maybe Nicole might have saw that I pulled it out, because I heard them say Josh, but they might have just been like, Josh is peeing, because I do that a lot, which is also part of the strategy, to always be going to the bathroom so you have time to sneak away, maybe look and whatnot. Yeah, so that's where my head's at right now. All right.
I'm so glad we won that challenge. It just feels very nice to win something. But also B, Amanda kind of pointed out that since she was safe that round, we would have had to figure out a new target, and I don't know who that would have been. And I feel like I'm kind of, not necessarily bouncing between people right now, but I know that I'm super close with Josh and Ryan, and kind of Lena, but I know Lena's also pretty close to Danny, and maybe Natalie. But I don't think that those 2 groups have fully converged yet like they wanted to. So I guess that kind of puts a couple people more on the out still. But I'm glad to have a little more time to have to try and figure that out. Bummed about Carrie. I really liked Carrie. She was kind of off on her own fairly often yesterday, because she ended up staying with Frank because she was worried he'd try and find something. So she didn't do a ton of strategizing. So I did my best to kind of interact with her, just A, on a personal level, but B, I guess strategically. She did really well with that. So if she's able to kind of continue and reintegrate herself, I'm hoping there's still some level of loyalty there, because I don't know how much loyalty she'll have to our tribe overall. Because I don't know who she thought Frank was voting for, but it was her, and so she knows that she was the kind of decoy vote. I know I'd feel some type of way about that. But overall, still feeling pretty solid. Amanda's definitely trying to integrate herself in pretty strongly. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. I like her already. But trying to go talk to Natalie, who I haven't really had a chance to yet. Or Ryan, we all kind of stayed by the fire. I'm okay, I'll get a chance to kind of combine these 2 people. And then Amanda stayed. And then going to the water right after that, Amanda stayed. Or Amanda went with us. So trying to figure out how she'll tie into everything. If she might end up I don't feel super close to Jeff or Meredith yet, just because we haven't had a chance to talk a ton. So if she ends up going that way, a chance I don't know. It's a new variable. I don't know what I was expecting for the abduction, but I'm surprised, but I'm not super surprised. I don't know. We'll see. I'm feeling okay for now.
1.
Hi, I'm back. Lena here. It's been an exciting day already, shaping up to be a good one. We won our first challenge. We needed that. Our tribe really needed that. Morale, I think, is a little bit higher. We've had some twists and turns, though. I mean, we started the day with tribal, voting out Frank. We were all sad to see him go, but that's the name of the game. And then the twist, we are kind of anticipating that Carrie was going to be leaving us, not expecting to get Amanda. So we have a new person in our tribe. Trying to figure out the new group dynamics. It didn't seem like we have alliances set yet. Maybe I'm just not a part of them. I've had some conversations with people about who's vibing with whom. But it seems to me that there's someone who has an advantage, and they might be target numero uno. There also might be another person, I think, who has found something. There's some speculation that Josh has found something, and then I saw Ryan and Alex poking around in the woods. So I think that's going to be something that's on the forefront of our minds. But right now, we're just trying to eat some rice and get ready for the next challenge so that we can keep this immunity going and maybe not have to see tribal. So that's my thoughts.
So Jovian finally won their first challenge. It feels so good. It felt even better to like pull out 2 points for my team. It was a balanced challenge and I knew I'd be good at that, so I volunteered pretty early on in the challenge. However, before the challenge, we had our first tribal council where we sadly saw Frank get voted off in a 9-0 vote, and we lost Carrie in the abduction and gained Amanda. So now I feel like this time I'm going to use to build social connections with people, get to know them more, and maybe solidify some alliances. The vote was pretty clear-cut that it was going to be Frank, so the lines have still not been drawn here, and I don't want to be left on the wrong side of them. So with that in mind, I've just been continuing to be a bubbly, like, fun person for them, provide insight when possible. However, there are some people who are lying. There are people saying that they have never played live games before. Ryan C., how do I know that your last name starts with a C if you didn't play Live to Give? Or wait, what did you play? Yeah, Live to Give. And forward and reveals that she was in a game when she's just said like, oh, like, I've never played a game before, and now is like doubling back because I was like, oh yeah, I recognize people, like I'm not the only one that's played games. So I'm trying to make sure that like they take that as like, oh, Danny can provide helpful advice, not like, oh, we need to target Danny because, oh, this is my 5th game. But they don't need to know that. And I've been trying to like tiptoe around the like fact that I do know Mojo, and from the game that I played, that is what I'm like talking about. So I hope now that Amanda's over here, he didn't reveal too much about that, and Amanda can piece the puzzles together, because that would not be good for my game. But right now, social. Capitalize on this time that we have since we won, and I'm hoping I can pull out another win later.
So did great in the challenge today. Team absolutely rocked it. Really excited about that. Got our first win. Super sad to see Frank go. Unfortunately, it had to be done, but first tribal, get it out of the way. Jitters are gone. Now it's time to start making alliances. It's time to start looking for some idols. But I feel okay. I feel like we're all getting along at the camp. We did just get Amanda, so we'll see how that goes, having a new person from the other tribe. But other than that, feeling good, feeling great, and let's go for another win today, again.
So I got switched over to the other tribe, which I am not feeling great about right now. It's very quiet at this camp, like very quiet. Nobody's talking strategy. Everyone's like, well, we were still in agreement on the first vote, and we've all just been getting along, and I get that, but I'm also like very competitive, and this has been, nobody will talk strategy, so I don't know if they're just not talking it with me, but they go everywhere in like a group of 8, let's get water all together. It's like a very weird vibe. And it's very quiet, like super quiet. It's odd. I don't know, I had made some alliances in my other tribe. I don't know where those stand if I make it to the merge, so I was kind of trying to make eye contact with people over there, and everyone had sunglasses, I don't know. So I'm interested to see who they get rid of over there, though, because really everybody was getting along pretty well, and they can't vote the new person out. So I am grateful for having the immunity, because we're not going this time. I think I can pretty much say there's no way I can go home today, even if we do one more immunity challenge today. I have one where I kind of get to be free, so that's pretty cool. But I'm looking forward to the merge at this point, because hopefully it'll get better, but right now it's a little bit boring.
Okay, well, I'm glad we finally won a challenge. We were 0-3 for far too long, so now we finally have a win. That's great. Tribal went as we expected it, so nothing surprising there, so that's good, other than now we have Amanda on our team instead of Carrie. Apparently that's permanent, so we'll see how that goes. But it'll be interesting to see. It's exciting to meet another person too. And she's brought a board game with her, so that'll be fun. Thanks.